Hi, Ryan here. This is a video on an oil pan replacement on a 2017 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost due to a leaking RTV seal. This is a known issue outlined in Technical Service Bulletin 20-2051. I would recommend to read the bulletin yourself if you plan on doing this job. I have it linked below. The bulletin specifies 2017 and 2018 models built at Kansas City or Dearborn, built before March 19th, 2018. If you want to see if this bulletin applies to your vehicle, you can look up where and when your truck was manufactured by searching your VIN in a VIN decoder. I've linked the NHTSA, that's the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, lookup below. Those are the only two manufacturing plants in the US, so you really only need to look up the date the truck was manufactured. The procedure in the bulletin is very good, but is only for applying the new seal. It doesn't show removing the oil pan or reinstallation. I hope to show that in this video. I ordered the parts exactly as described in the bulletin from Broadway Truck, eBay, Amazon, and Walmart. I split it up to get the best prices. The nuts and bolts were cheap, so I didn't know if I would need them, and I ordered them anyway, but turns out we really didn't need any of the nuts or bolts. I wouldn't recommend ordering any of them. All the nuts and bolts we pulled out, you can just put right back in. The most expensive part was the Motocraft metal surface prep wipes. That's Z Charlie 31 Bravo. The can was about $250 for 10 wipes, and we only need one wipe. I managed to find someone on eBay selling individual wipes for $20, so I went that route. Altogether, the parts cost around $250. I understand shops will charge well over $1,000 for this job, so hopefully it was worth it. Okay, so first things, you gotta take these three brackets off. You got 1, 2, 3 covers, not brackets. Then you take this bracket off. This is the main bracket. Got 2 bolts on each side. This is all the hardware for that there. Okay, hardest thing about this job is dropping the differential. I'm gonna try to show you where the 3 bolts are to do that. Okay, so there's a passenger side bolt, driver side, and then there's like a driver side front. The driver side front is by far the hardest. Now it's right down in here. It's to the right of the oil filter. Another thing that makes this one hard is you have to get past the steering shaft. So let's see, so the bolt is kind of like down in there, right behind the steering shaft. I'm gonna try to stick this down in here so you can see it. It's right there. That's the bolt. Okay, so it's pretty hard to get to and it's pretty hard to turn. When we were turning it out, kind of got stuck behind the steering shaft. We had to switch from a socket to an adjustable, then back to a socket. Okay, and then on the other side of that, you have this, which is a non-captive. It's non-captive, so if you screw the bolt out, it's gonna fall and hit the ground. This was an extra I bought. We didn't end up needing it. Okay, so then that's that one. Hard to get. The other thing is when you put it back together, you got to get that lined up just right. We found that the car on the ramps, we couldn't get it lined up. We had to jack it up so the tires were off the ground. Then it was pretty easy to line up. I mean, that took us hours to figure out. We were trying to move it around best we could with it on these ramps, and it never worked. Ended up jacking it up over the ramps and had no issue. It lined right up. Okay, so then the second one is driver's side. And it's right there. I forgot my flashlight. Let me just grab the flashlight. This is the driver's side. Okay. This one I can do a schematic too. You see it back in there? It's this bolt back there. All of them are hard to get to. This one doesn't have anything. The nut on the other side is captive. You don't have to worry about it. This is just a bolt. This one's 21 millimeter. The other two differential bolts are 18 millimeter. Okay. So that was right there. And then we're gonna go passenger side, get the third one. So when you take these out, you gotta put the jack under there. So, or the jack right under the differential there. So it doesn't fall on top of you. Okay. Now the other one, one's right there. See that? That's the only piece of hardware we replaced, is that piece right there. Okay. And then you can just reach up in on the other side, and there's an 18 millimeter bolt on the other side. Gotcha, that's right there. And that's our new oil pan. Okay. Now, this is the old oil pan. All right, so what we had to do, here, this is the piece that I just showed you. That's on the rear side of the passenger differential bolt. That's the only piece of hardware we replaced. Didn't even need to, but had the other one, so replaced it. Okay, here's the oil pan. As you can see, there's a little divot on the inside. That's where the seal goes. And it's supposed to be 4 millimeters thick, which is like 5/32, I think. So you just put a little bit around all the way on that inside there. This is the old junk one. Okay, and then to prep that, okay, first this is there's 16 bolts all the way around. They're all captive except for these two silver ones, which are not captive. Those fall right out. As you can see, well, we took them out. We took them all out, but when you're undoing them, they're captive unless you take them all the way out. Okay, and then to seal that surface, what was it? First thing, you got to get all the old gasket off. Okay, and we used this gasket remover. This was all in the technical service bulletin. Took it off with the gasket remover, then cleaned it with the brake parts cleaner, then used the shampoo degreaser to get that brake parts cleaner off. And then I bought this wipe on eBay, 20 bucks. Didn't want to pay 250 for the can. So someone sent me just one wipe. Wiped it down with that. That's the surface prep. Then we put the seal on the oil pan, popped it back in there, and they say in the bulletin you only have like 10-15 minutes to get that sealed up. And you got a lot of bolts here to do. So it was me and my father, we both jumped under there at the same time and try to get them done quickly. There's what we used for the RTV seal. And that's about it. And one more thing, don't forget to pull your dipstick out. It'll be sticking out the bottom when you take that oil pan off. That's about it. We're just about to put the covers back on and fill it back up with oil. So the biggest hurdle that I'd like to show people is that if you have this truck on ramps, it's going to be really difficult to get that differential lined up again. We messed with that for too long. Couldn't get it lined up, but we ended up jacking it up, and it seemed to get the differential lined up so we could get this front bolt down in here. And I did the front bolt from the top. I've seen, there was another video where a guy did it from the bottom. I have no idea how you do it from the bottom. I couldn't see any gaps down there, so I did it from the top. And that's about it. Just gotta put the covers and the bracket back on, it'll be good to go.